Grammy-nominated duo Black Violin has merged modern beats and vocals with classical string arrangements for over 17 years. They have collaborated with Alicia Keys, Wu-Tang Clan, 2 Chainz, and others. In 2021, their album Take the Stairs was nominated for Best Contemporary Instrumental Album at the Grammy Awards. Black Violin is a group focused on taking things further, exceeding expectations, and challenging convictions. The Chicago Defender had a chance to speak with Wil Baptiste from Black Violin about their upcoming performance in Chicago and what it's like to be part of the changing face of classical music. So I got to ask you, coming as we kind of move around differently with this pandemic, how does it feel to be back doing live shows right now?
It feels incredible. We haven't really done anything yet. We haven't got on tour yet, but we're excited, man. I mean, it's been, obviously the pandemic has, had taken a huge toll on everybody, particularly the entertainment business, and not being on tour, not being able to just do what you do and do what you love is really difficult. But, there's always a silver lining to everything to me, and being home, being able to just really consistently be home for a year and a half with your family. And that's a blessing, man. So I wouldn't take that away at all,
Yeah, I've spoken over the past year. We've talked to a lot of creatives, particularly in music and entertainment. And one of the things they said was like, I've been moving. I've been living out of hotel rooms and on planes, and people think it's very glamorous, but the idea of being able to just be still allowed them to tap into some creativity and do some things that they normally wouldn't have been able to do because they're so busy touring and on the road. Did you guys find a different level of creativity that came out of you guys being, stuck at home?
Absolutely. For me, obviously I'm an artist, I'm a musician, but I'm really fascinated with cinematography and camera. So I've been dabbling in it a little bit, but I really had a lot of time to really focus on that a lot. And it's been really a lot of fun. But I think for me, the thing that I've been doing outside of music in this pandemic is really spending time with family and just being present. To me, that was the most important thing. And that's the thing I did the most. And I didn't do a lot of music, but we did do music. We actually put out a Christmas album last year in December. So, we did music, but for me, the most important thing was just like, just relax and chill, spend time with the family. I got the kids in the background right now yelling, you know what I'm saying? And because at the end of the day, I'm going to go back on the road and I'm going to be the dad that's just like out all the time. So let me take advantage of this moment and be present as much as I can. To me, that was the most important thing. And everything else, being creative and all that stuff, it ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People always talk about, you guys melding, classical with the hip hop as if it is, kind of this anomaly. But what would you say are the similarities between the music that allow you guys to meld it so seamlessly?
Well, I tell everybody all the time that, if you think of Beethoven, Mozart, those composers back in the days, I mean, there were the modern day of their time, Timbaland or Neptunes, you know what I'm saying? They were the creative, they were the producers, the DJs, you know what I'm saying? If you had the budget, you wanted a specific piece of music for whatever ball that you're coming up with, you hit up, one of these composers, and they compose something specifically for your party, you know what I mean? So in that sense, it's very similar to today's and how we operate, obviously with technology and just, being that it is what it is today, it's a little different. But I think that's why for us, classical music just has this kind of like untouchable type of, thing that is attached to it. And for us, we just honestly didn't care. We just always was just like, listen, we're going to be us and we're going to do what we want to do. And that's it. You know what I mean? And we didn't let that limit us or even stop us from being the creatives that we wanted to be. And I credit hip hop for that, to be honest. Hip hop is about expressing yourself. Hip hop is about doing you, And without that, we would have been probably stuck in some little box that's just like, this is what you do, this is how you do it.
Right.
And granted, the box has fundamentals and things that you need to learn, but as artists, man, you got to expand, you got to grow, you got to bust out of that box and truly find yourself, not only as an artist, but as a person.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting because there are artists like yourself, like a Robert Glasper, people who have been classically trained in these instruments, who are changing the face of what this music looks like and opening the music up to an audience that may not have been as receptive as before. Me being one of them, being a child of hip hop and seeing that kind of meld together, it's like, oh, okay, you know what? It's more relatable. And it felt more like I could, like it was something I can actually be a part of, even as just a lover of the music, based on how you guys come out. You guys look like us,
Right.
just like us. Have you found that that and being able to touch particularly younger audiences?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to watch. You know what I'm saying? Again, classic music is not known for that. Classic music is not inclusive.
Right.
They're not about that. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that we're able to do it, and other artists like you mentioned, Robert Glasper, and jazz is similar to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing to see, because at the end of the day, particularly classical music, is fading away, it's dying off. So you need to be able to engage the younger generation. You got to allow them to be themselves and bring this beautiful art form and let it evolve into this thing that they can preserve the tradition as well. They can still preserve the tradition at the same time, elevate and really evolve this art form. And I see it all the time. And it's this really beautiful thing to see kids that would not have been exposed to this music unless it was like a Black Violin concert. I mean, you know what I mean? They come into the concert and they think they come into, a boring violin concert. And they come in, it's just, the music hitting, the subs hitting. And for that moment, they're able to see something they'd never seen before. They're able to dream like, man, classical music just has this untouchable, prestigious. We just made it. We just broke it in half and said, you want this, you want that, you can have it. You can have it however you want. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing to see Black kids see that and say to themselves, oh man, I could do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the beautiful thing about it. It's just, it's more than just the music. It's just, it's the culture. It's like teaching the new generation that you are capable of anything.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed you guys throughout the pandemic and even beforehand have really taken mentorship as far as reaching out to Black and brown kids to introduce them to the art form, introduce them, educate them. What has that experience been like for you guys?
It's been great. You know what I'm saying? And again, as artists, we see ourselves as artists of the times. I just go back to Nina Simone, her quote, just like, being the artist of the times. And we live in a time still where, inequities exist. And also too, like I say, like classical music just is not the most inclusive thing. And if, being a Black classical musician, going into these places and performing, it's not always a safe place. It's not always a welcoming place to go. You know what I mean? Being the only Black kid or one or two, the only Black kid, you know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm from the hood, you know what I'm saying? So when I go to these places, even if I see someone that looks like me, they may not represent or even interact or even understand who I am. You feel me? So it was difficult. And I went to a high school where it was predominantly Black and brown. So when I went to college, it was like an eye opening. It was just very, very different. And it does make you want to stray away and step away. And I think doing what we do, just merging these two worlds, and just, it wasn't something that we thought about. It was just almost like a safety blanket for us. It was just like, yo, I don't feel, comfortable right now. So this is me just, forget everything. I'm going to be who I am. And this is a safety mechanism,
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see it to really try to instill that in kids, you know what I mean? To let them understand, like, okay, this is the society we live in. It is what it is, you know. But at the same time, I want you to understand that this is yours to obtain. This is
Yeah.
for you too. You know what I'm saying? And also too, on at the same time, I want you to understand that you don't necessarily need that. You know what I'm saying? We as people of, you know, African descent, man, we got a lot of beautiful things working for us as well. We have amazing music, amazing artists. Go look them up. John Coltrane, whoever, Beyonce. We got stuff too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as much as I love classical music, I try to teach kids, like, listen, this is beautiful. Understand this is for you. Don't feel that, you know, even though you may not feel welcome, you know, don't let that deter you from what you want to do. But at the same time, make sure it's what you want to do. And also understand that there's a lot more of us, and there's a lot more that comes in terms of like our artistic expression and our heritage and our music that you can tap into and feel the same way that classical music makes you feel. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I do.
And to me, we live in a society where it's like the hierarchies of just, you know, and it's unfortunate. And I just really want people to understand, like, yeah, classical music has always had that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not necessarily a thing that is real and true. It's just something that's been branded for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And again, I love classical music, but listen, it ain't the only thing that can make you feel prestige and love and culture. It ain't the only, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a tough, I guess, equation to solve, but it's, you know, but it's just as Black folks, man, we gotta navigate all these different areas and waters, man. You know, we just, as much as I would want us to just, you know, I just want to be, just want to live, just want to be. And that's, you know, and that's the most important thing I try to tell these kids, just be, man, just live, just be, regardless of what it is, just be. You don't have to be anything grandest. It's okay to want to be a teacher. It's okay to want to, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? And just live and just be the best person, the best version of yourself, you know?
When talking about your music, what does it feel like to know that it's not just people enjoying the music, but you're bringing people and cultures together and really shattering the notion of what a classical music artist looks like, a hip hop artist looks like? What does that feel like as an artist?
I mean, you literally said our mantra, like, you know what I'm saying? Like almost word for word. I mean, like seriously, I mean, that's what we here to do. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing the audience and seeing how diverse it is and see how people come together. And even doing our show, you know, I almost bring them to church. I tell them, like, look to your left, look to your right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Look how amazing this is. Like, this person probably wouldn't have interacted with this person outside of this concert. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing to see, especially going in these different places in America. You know what I mean? Because America is made up of a lot of, because I live in South Florida, right? And it's diverse, I guess, you know. Yeah. But you know, but you know, I'm going to empires, right? Right. So I'm going to different places where it isn't as diverse, but still, you know, we are representing these places, but we don't necessarily engage in whatever activity that are going on. So it's amazing to see how people come together and they're able to see other cultures, and our music and the fact that we come there does that. And it's just an amazing thing to see. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, bringing culture, merging cultures and merging people together. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And again, I'm unapologetically who I am when I'm on stage. So whoever you are, if you're looking at me, by no means that I'm trying to be anything other than this Black man that's standing in front of you playing his instrument. So whatever perspective, whatever stereotypes that you've had about someone that looks like me, You know what I'm saying? The hope is that it's completely shattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the goal, and that's the whole point. And again, we talk about this all the time, just being able playing this instrument and having the case on my back and going to the elevator, and, you know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
you know, folks clutching their purchase, or folks, you know, looking at the case and saying, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? I ask them, tell them to guess. They never guess a string instrument. They always guess. Someone even said a piano. Is there a piano in there?
Wow.
Like, come on. But it is what it is. I think one stage and one show at a time, being able to do what we do and really change people's perspectives, man, like completely shatter it. And, in this society, in our society, we're all brainwashed to a certain extent. And I feel like it's great work that what we do to be able to restructure or just break the mold and just, really challenge people to think about themselves and how they view the world in their own individual lenses.
Hmm. So for those who haven't attended a Black Violin show, this will be my first time seeing you guys live. What can audiences expect from a Black Violin performance?
Well, it's going to be a high energy show. It's going to be loud. Not going to front, right? It's going to be cells rattling. There's going to be moments you want to get up and dance. We encourage it. Get up and dance and move. There's moments that we bring it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? There's moments that we just freestyle. They just create something, just how it sounds, freestyle. So it's a fun, energetic show. And it's different. It's not, we would hope that it isn't anything that you've ever seen or heard before. And it's just a fun-filled show. You know what I mean? It's a show for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are. It's for you. And yeah, if you want to have a great experience, more than just listening to great music, the experience to me is what it is. Then come out and enjoy the show.
Well, my last question, I've asked every creative that I talked to this because I love the answers. But over the past year and a half, what has been the greatest lesson you've learned about yourself as an artist?
The greatest thing that I've learned in the last year and a half as an artist is that, I'm a patient person, but I think this pandemic has really taught me to reach further into just being patient, being still, and doing tasks that may seem monotonous and not important. Because what it does is it allows me to slow down even more. This pandemic has slowed me down, but even being home at times, I'm just like, I'm looking for something to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to tell myself to, chill. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
go outside. It's all right. Like, it's okay to chill. It's okay to go outside and just sit in that lawn and just like look up at the sky, bro. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and one of the things that this pandemic has shown me this year and a half is that, there's this grind culture that we are immersed in. This, I gotta go get this. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get this bag. We got to get rid of that, man. Especially as Black folks, man. I'm gonna be honest. We got to get rid of that. If there's if there's any people around the world that needs to get rid of this idea of just like, I need to work myself to death, it's us. Because we worked enough, and our forefathers and our ancestors worked enough. We deserve to go outside and breathe the air and experience the air the way that it should be. And that's the thing that I've learned this pandemic, man. It's all right, bro. Just chill, relax. Even like I said earlier, like I haven't done a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of that. It's because of like, I'm just like, yo, it's gonna come. It is what it is. Go chill. Go outside. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time with the kids. Go do something. Do something that's going to really elevate your spirit. And that's the thing that I've constantly every day I try to really just stick to that, because again, it's there's still something behind my back. It's just like, hey man,
So real.
Turn on that laptop. Let's go work. But you know,
That's
we got to
so
get rid of
real.
that.
Thank you so much for speaking with the Chicago Defender. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Black Violin performs this year at the Ravinia Festival with the Blind Boys of Alabama in Highland Park on September 11th. Tickets are available at ravinia.org. Don't forget to visit thechicagodefender.com for the latest in news, information, and events that cover the interest of the urban African American community. This has been Danielle Sanders for the Chicago Defender.